Hi everybody, so my client's back for an infill and I've already removed the gel polish from her other hand, and as you can see she's got two hammer thumbs and I'm gonna have to do a nail shape correction today because it is time. I can do maybe about 4 treatments without giving her a nail shape correction, but then they will start to twist inward and yeah, get a really funny shape and look wide and thick, and yeah, so it's due time to remove them and give her a nail shape correction. So I'm just gonna take a lot of it off, make it nice and short, and then I'm gonna use a nail form to give her a nice nail again. So I'm just going to remove all the gel polish and a little bit of product that's on her nail. Don't have to remove everything because, you know, if it's stuck, it's stuck. No need to take that off. But I am going to thin it out a little bit because I'm going to apply new product, and I do want the nail to be strong and look good in the end, of course. The rest of her nails are pretty okay. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of nail shape correction, not a lot. Yeah, sometimes I do have to put in more work with her other nails, but it also, I can also make them last a couple of appointments, so I don't have to do that every appointment, just now and again. And over the course, you know, running up to that one appointment that I really need to give her a nail shape correction, I will give her minor corrections, like put a little bit more product on top of the very edge of the free edge, and make sure that it looks nice and straight again. But you know, there always comes that point when that's not enough anymore, and then I'm just gonna have to do a complete reconstruction. But you know, that's fine because it always looks really, really, really pretty in the end. So got that all off, and now it's time to get rid of her cuticle tissue. Again, I'm just using my electric nail file and I'm just flaking off that cuticle tissue, not applying pressure at all because I really don't want to damage her natural nail. I just want to get rid of that cuticle tissue. So I'm just being really careful. I don't want to damage her sidewalls either, so I really don't want to dig in with my nail file. Yeah, so I'm just being careful and making sure that everything is gone. I believe on this nail it's really easy to see how well it just flakes off, like really satisfying. Some bigger chunks there. Oh, always love this process. It always makes it look so clean. And when that's done, it's finally time for some product application. Because this is the only thing I'm going to do to her natural nail plate. I'm not going to touch it with a hand file or anything. There's just no need for that. You only have to make sure that you really get rid of all the cuticle tissue. Don't leave anything on the nail plate or you'll get lifting, of course. And of course, you really have to scrub that nail plate, making sure that you get rid of the oils and dirt. You know, it's a very important step in this process. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, taking some nail plate cleanser and getting rid of all that stuff, that it's nice and clean for some product application. So now I'm going to place my nail form, and I do have to cut it a little bit in one side wall. On one side, the nail form is, you know, sitting there nicely underneath her nail, as you can see, but on the other side, the nail form is sticking outside the nail with, and if you'll leave it like that, you'll get a very thick and white nail, which, wouldn't look good at all, especially on a hammer thumb. You just want, you know, normal looking slim nails. This is my rubber base clear, and I'm just going to create a free edge with it. I like working that way because when I've got that on, I can take off the nail form and just apply product on top and not have to worry about it not curing because, this nail form is not see-through. All right, now you can really see how crooked this nail is, and then it's really twisting outward, inward, whatever you like to call it. While I'm applying this nail form, I'm seeing that she's got a massive gap underneath. And I was cutting nail form to see if I could get a better fit, but I didn't. So I just decided to take off the nail form and file some more nail away. And you're not gonna get rid of that gap like really, because it's also in her nail bed, if you know what I mean. But this way I can make it just fit a little bit easier. I'm just trying to get it under there, but because her nail bed is up, her nail is up too, so there's a gap no matter, how you try to fix that. And yeah, but at least this way there's not going to be a lot of product that will run inside that gap, so I will try to minimize that because I really don't want any product touching her skin. Sometimes it's just not that easy. So got that nail form on, and I'm going to apply my rubber base clear. And while I'm doing that, you can hear my dog barking in the background. He's doing his job, I guess, making sure we're all safe and and all that. But anyway, I really enjoy doing nails like this. It's always a challenge to, get a nail like that looking good again. But it does take some practice and some patience sometimes. And once I've got it the way I want it, I'm gonna cure that for a full minute, and then I can apply my acrylic gel. So this is my own blend. Well, I didn't create the product, but I mixed some soft white and some cover pink, and I believe tiniest bit of nude, I believe. And this is what came out, and I really just like the soft color. And I usually mix these colors when my tubes are empty. And there's always a little bit left, but you really can't squeeze it out anymore because it's really stuck way up there. And then I will just cut the tube in half, put everything into a jar, mix it. This is what I've got. And it's always a pretty color like this, very light, very soft, and I really like it as a base. So right now I'm just trying to apply it evenly on the entire length and width of the nail. So I'm not really paying much attention on how it looks. I'm just paying attention that it's everywhere and that it's evenly over the nail. So yeah, and if there's any, bits poking out, like at the very edge of the free edge, I really don't care because, that is just 1 second of filing and it's gone. I just really want everything to be evenly so I don't have to do a lot of filing afterwards. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So now I'm looking down the barrel of the nail, just making sure if I'm missing any product anywhere. Um, Bumps are not a big deal, but you really don't want to have any holes left anywhere because you can't file them away, at least not very easy. And once I'm happy, I'm gonna give it a full cure. Same thing for this nail. Same process, just making sure that it's evenly everywhere. And on that side that I was working on the right side, um, because she's got a bump in her natural nail bed, usually when I start to file, I will tend to file up to the nail bed. I mean up to the nail, because if I don't, it's going to be crooked again, of course, because it's already twisted upward, if that makes sense. So it's higher than the left side of her nail. So I will try to make corrections on both sides, file lower on the right side and leaving more product on the left side. I might ask if that leaves risk for any breakage, but she's never broken a nail, and yeah, so no issues there as long as the structure's there. And of course, your client has to be mindful of her nails, but every client has to be mindful of her nails. And I do always make nails on her hammer thumb like that, a little bit longer than her other nails, just to make it look, just as good. But your client does have to be mindful of that because her nail bed is very short, so the nail doesn't have a lot of natural nail to hold on to, just a little bit, and your client's just, gonna have to deal with that. So I'm always leaving that nail a little bit longer, but it sure does look good in the end. So now doing some hand filing, making sure the shape is there, only worrying about nail shape, looking from the top. So I'm just filing the free edge, and I will file the lower arch a little bit, and then I'm going to take my e-file and do the rest of the filing, and I will always finish with my hand file. So this nail is starting to look really good, if I do say so myself. So just finishing off, like I said, with my hand file, and you can see our natural nail shining through just a little bit on the right side. Like I said, it would, but yeah, at least her nail is straight again, and it's got a nice C curve. So yeah, sometimes you just have to try some things out, see what looks good and what works best for your clients. So I'm going to use a lovely cat eye for a base, and this cat eye looks best on top of black. So I'm just going to paint all 10 nails with this lovely black color by Soaks. So let's go in with this lovely blue and purple cat eye. I really love the tone shift in this one. And I'm just going to pull the magnetized particles towards the center of the nail, which is my favorite way of doing cat eye, by the way. I do like it sometimes to, make some different patterns in the cat eye, but for me, this is my go-to. I just really like getting all those particles towards the center of the nail. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. And when that's all done, I'm going to go in with my paint gel black and create the black spots where I'm going to create my lovely ghosties. And I want to make it like a picture frame. It's very popular right now. I've done this design last year, but never put it on camera. But yeah, I really love how this looks. Just so cute. And I will be doing this on both her ring fingers and middle fingers. And I do cure this for 1 minute. So I've grabbed my palette and I'm going to apply some white gel polish, and I'm almost out. I do have some spare, of course, but yeah, I really like to get it all out before I pull out a new bottle. And I'm going to use some blooming gel, and I'm going to put that on my little palette too, just to make my life easier. And then I'm just gonna take a very fine small detailer brush, and I'm gonna get that blooming gel on the part where I want to create the frame. And once that's done, I'm not going to cure. I want to have a good amount of it on that black spot. Not too much, but certainly not too little. making sure it's even because I don't want to have lumps and bumps on the nail. Give my brush a wipe. Gonna take some white gel polish and create my first little ghosty. And just pull a ghostly shape like that. Blah, 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 blah. And there you go, my first little ghosty. And I am going to cure in between, because if you'll just let it bloom, the whole part of your picture frame is going to be covered in white gel polish that has been blooming all the way. I really don't want that. So I'm just going to let it bloom a little bit until I'm happy. And now it's time to apply some eyes using my black paint gel. First I made some little dots, and then I went to the second nail and I thought, no, I just want to give it a little bit of an elongated shape. So I did that, and it looks just a little bit more dramatic, which I really like. So I'm going to go back into the ring finger and create that same shape. Sorry if the camera was dancing. It was my big head stuck to the camera, but you know, that happens, and it's gonna happen a few times more in this video, let me tell you. But okay, so I'm just going to create a nice little yellow moon. I know you can't see it right now, but there you go, there it is. Just a little moon on the top there. And this ghosty is going to be a little devil. And that's probably my favorite one. I just really like it with the little horns and its pitchfork. Yeah, just really like that one. And here I'm just going to create a little street light. And yeah, that's pretty easy to do. Just a yellow square. And I'm going to give it some orange, some jelly orange on top to create like the illusion that there's a candle lit inside. Just like that, just a little bit. Makes it look nice and warm. And as I was doing this one, I was thinking, what are we going to do for the last one? Of course, there are lots of ways you can go about it and, think of, very fun ghosties. But I was like, well, I've already got a devil. I really need to make sure it's all in balance again. So I decided to create a little angel ghosty. So it's going to get this lovely big halo, just like that, nice and bright, so there's no mistaking it for an angel. And then I really wanted to get its wings, and I was like, I'm gonna do that, but it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be like, oh yeah, those are angel wings, just small little cute angel wings, and I really liked how that came out. And I'm going to create a very tiny little bat that is flying before the moon. So you'll just have to see, so you're just going to see some shading. Yeah, just a cute little bat. So just some little accents with this great white, um, just so you know those tiny details will stand out a little bit more, like the bat that I've already done. Because it's pretty dark and it's at night, but I really do want things to show a little bit. The only thing that doesn't need highlights is the little angel one. Yeah, really happy about the devil and the angel, how they turned out. So cute. So I've already top coated everything, forgot to record it, and now I'm just going to buff it with the softest buffer that I've got. I believe it's a 280 grit. So just buffing the entire surface of the nail, because I'm going to be working with some chrome, and you know, a lot of people use like a matte top coat or whatever, and the chrome just doesn't stick. Well, my matte top coat doesn't do that. It makes the chrome stick everywhere, so it really doesn't work for me. So I just top coat everything in a no wipe top coat, and then I buff it with my buffer, you know, my 280 grit buffer, and it works like a charm. So I'm just going to create that picture frame. Yeah, just get it on there. curing in between, adding more details, and then it's time to get some lovely chrome on and make those picture frames come to life. So, time to add some chrome. And yeah, I really like how that looks. It really makes the design come to life. And as you can see, it's really only sticking to the paint gel. Then I'm going to take a fluffy brush because it's really soft and it's not going to damage the chrome, and just brush it off the entire nail. And as you can see, it's not sticking anywhere. So yeah, for me, this method works best. I did add a few details later on top of this chrome, and then put some new chrome on top of it again, just to give it a little bit more dimension, but I forgot to record that part. But yeah, then it's time to apply some top coat. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. Look at the blue and purple shift come to life. Yeah, really nice. But of course, you are going to get a close-up later on. Look at that. So pretty. That color shift in that nail. Oh my god. Love it. So now I'm just going to add some chrome details to the rest of the nails, just to make it look as a whole, and it just gives this really nice effect on top of the cat eye. I just love that combination. Um, yeah, and once that's done, it's going to get top coated again, and then we're all set and done. And here are her nails. I just think they came out so pretty. Look at that shift from the cat eye. It's just really, really pretty. I'm really happy how they turned out. And those little ghosties are just so cute. At least in my opinion, that is. So I really hope you've liked this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And I wish you all a very good day. Goodbye.